Hello everyone and welcome to this tutorial on how to create an animal encounters habitat in Planet Zoo. I'm Estefania, welcome back to my channel, so let's get started. How can you take this empty habitat with barriers, do we just have the barriers, and actually make an habitat encounter like the one that we have over here in the campaign scenario? This area over here where you can see, and you saw in the trailer, all the people walking here and just interacting with the animals. How can you transform this or any habitat of your own creation into an animal interaction habitat? Let me show you. First of all, to create a habitat, you will still need to add a habitat gate so the keepers can actually enter the habitat. Then you will need to add this, a small guest gate or a guest gate, like the normals that we used to have, the large gates, or now we have these small gates that I really personally love. So we can add just one gate or we can add two gates in case we want to have a path that starts and ends at different endpoints. So the guests will enter over here and they will leave the habitat over here, and we will need to connect that to our path. So let's just use this null path over here, and I'm going to use like terrain paint to make it look like the terrain is a bit rusty or dirty. Let me do that just really quickly. We can use like sand for that purpose to keep the same theme that we already had. I am actually in the campaign scenario, so in sandbox mode, so that's why I can modify all of this over here. Great, so we have this, and now guests will be able to enter the habitat from here and exit from here, or vice versa. Now, what do we need to do to make this actually interactive? Because right now they will only walk on the path. We need to meet quite a few criteria. If we click on the door, we don't want to move it, we just want to click on it like this. Once, we will be selecting the habitat. And over here we see a new tab called Animal Encounters. Animal encounter requirements. All of these requirements must be met for guests to be able to experience animal encounters within this habitat. So we have the guest gate. When we see the check mark, that means that we are meeting that requirement. But we still need to add a hygiene station. If we click here on hygiene station, we will be filtering the facilities automatically, and we will find the Animal Encounters Hygiene Station 1 and 2. The hygiene station comes in two different variants. We have like this curved one with 3 hygiene stations where people can wash their hands simultaneously, and we also have this individual one, which I personally like for more privacy. So if we add one of these over here, you can add them anywhere inside the habitat that will meet the requirement for the hygiene station. We also need to keep dangerous animals away from the habitat. If we don't have any dangerous animals like lions or hyenas or cheetahs, then we will be meeting the requirement. And finally, we need to have animals that guests can interact with. We can find that in the Zoopedia. For example, if we go to the Sussex chicken in the Zoopedia, we will see that in guest interaction, now we can see that guests can interact with these animals. But if we go to the hyena, we can see the guests flee from the hyena. And for animals that are not actually dangerous, like let's say the raccoon, there are other animals like the raccoon here that guests can interact with. And we also have the quokka, that is another animal that guests can interact with, and I think the reindeer as well. But with the okapi, for example, we have other animals that guests cannot interact with. An example is the okapi. Guests can still enter their habitats and they can walk around the habitats, but they cannot interact with them. So only when you see that guests can interact that is going to meet the requirement for interactive animals. I'm going to go to the animal trading, reset all filters, and then go to Sussex chicken. I'm going to get 2 Sussex chicken. I'm going to adopt them. They're in the animal storage, so right now I'm going to skip quarantine for now, but always try to send them to the quarantine first. But for the purpose of this tutorial, I'm gonna send them to this habitat. I just love seeing the running animation. It's something that looks kind of funny. And over here we see... Yay! Here we have our chicken. We have a rooster and we have a hen. Let me show you this. We have our beautiful rooster over here and we have a hen. So now, if we click on the habitat again and we go to animal encounters, we see that we are meeting all the requirements. We can also control the amount of roaming guests, that the number of people that can get off the path. And we have that set to default. I'm going to change that to few. You can also select many, depending on what you need. And just for showing you how this works, I'm going to open the zoo. And I'm going to wait until this habitat is filled with guests. So let me just fast forward this. Here we have some beautiful guests that are arriving here. Yay! You can see how they are roaming off the path and how they're walking to interact with our chicken. Let's see if we can get some interactions from them. Let's see. Oh, here we have an interaction. How beautiful! Just look at it. It just looks beautiful. The rooster really reacts to her. I just love that they added this to Planet Zoo. It is totally worth it. If you haven't tried the Barnyard Pack yet, or if you're thinking about getting it, well, yeah, I totally recommend it. They have a special place in my heart now, and especially with the new animal interactions. I hope you liked this video, and I will see you in another video.